Okay, I've been walking around for about 20 minutes looking for a suitable tree to hang a bear bag from, and so far there's nothing good. If you do any amount of hiking anywhere around here, chances are high you need to be hanging bear bags. There's only one problem: you probably suck at it. And so today I want to talk about all the reasons preventing you from mastering this important skill and why you should probably just give up. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you how you can still stay safe, even if you suck at bear hangs. Ideally, to get a proper bear hang, you want a tall tree with a clean, unobstructed horizontal branch at least 17 feet off the ground. The perfect tree is what will give you the best chances of hanging a proper bear bag that is 12 feet off the ground, 5 feet below the branch, and 5 feet from the trunk of the tree. This is the best case scenario. The problem is finding a tree that meets those requirements is nearly impossible, especially in the American West, where most trees are either pine, spruce, or fir trees with short, dense branches. Spruce. And that's assuming you aren't above tree line in the desert of the Southwest or somewhere else where trees just aren't available. But even in a little forest of trees, you can spend the better part of your evening just looking for a suitable tree. Okay, I've been walking around for about 20 minutes now, looking for a suitable tree to hang a bear bag from, and so far, no good options. Then, once you find it, you need to have the skill to properly execute the hang, which even with practice can take 15 to 30 minutes on its own, assuming you don't run into problems. I have spent countless hours throwing bear lines only to miss the branch, get the line stuck, or break the line altogether. There was one time in the Wind River Range that I spent upwards of 3 hours attempting to hang a bear bag to the point that I was just exhausted. By the time I finally got a bag off the ground, it ended up being too low where a bear could still have easily reached it, but I was too exhausted to start over. And if we're being honest, how many people are going to have the patience for this? Or how many people are going to hang a bag that's too low or too close to the trunk of the tree, or not bother hanging one at all? All of which puts you, future campers, rangers, and the bears at risk. When bears become accustomed to human food, they often become bold nuisance bears, unafraid of humans, willing to do anything in search of a meal. Now, there are alternative methods for hanging bear bags, even when you have inadequate trees. The one that I've attempted the most with moderate success is the two-tree method. With this method, you only have to find 2 trees with short branches approximately 20 feet apart. With 2 lengths of 50-foot paracord, you string one cord between the 2 trees like a high clothesline. Then you use your other cord to hang your bag in the center of that line. Some problems with this method is branches are often quite dense both above and below where you want to hang your line, and will interfere with retrieving your throw line or even get it stuck up in the tree. And to make things worse, you have to do this twice, once on each tree. Not to mention that if you get 2 trees that are too far apart, then one end of your cord won't reach the ground. But even if you string your line perfectly, the weight of your food is still going to cause your line to sag. Sag too far, and you have to start the whole thing over. And sometimes, even if you get 2 perfectly distanced trees and string the line at the perfect height, accounting for adequate sag, the friction of one line rubbing against the other can cause your line to snap, leaving you with no way to properly hang your food bag the rest of your trip. But there is one other method that I've never really tried until today. This method only needs 1 tree with a single branch approximately 18 to 20 feet off the ground. You throw your line over the branch and then attach the line and the bag to the line itself with a carabiner so that it can slide easily along the line. Then you hoist your bag like a makeshift pulley system, stopping when your bag is about 12 feet off the ground and 5 feet from the trunk of the branches. No matter which method you choose, you need to spend time practicing it in your backyard or at a local park. Then, even once you've gotten good at it, it's still going to take time to locate the right trees, throw the line, and everything else, assuming you have enough time and patience and nothing goes wrong. So I did that pretty well on the first try, and it still took me about 30 to 45 minutes just to hang this one bear bag. And even then, ambitious and determined bears can still get to your food. So you may go to all that trouble and still end up with no food and a hungry bear looking for seconds. Because of all these reasons, I'm growing tired of hanging bear bags, and I actually find myself somewhat relieved when an area requires hard-sided canisters, because at least then I know that storing and accessing my food is going to be easy. Packing it in and carrying the weight of the canister, not as much, which is why I'm not quite ready to give up on a bear bag, but instead I've started using the Ursack Major. The Ursack is a bear-resistant bag made out of Spectra, which is very similar to Kevlar. The bag has been extensively tested and proven to be reasonably bear-resistant. It's not foolproof, but it's lighter than a bear canister, heavier than your typical line and food bag, but easier and more secure than a poorly hung food bag. The best thing about it is you simply take it over to a tree and you tie it up at head height. No need to hang it high out of reach because it's the Kevlar, not your execution, that keeps the bears away from your food. But it's also not perfect because if a bear finds your bag, then there's nothing to stop him from gnawing on it like a large piece of chewing gum, smashing all your food and leaving you hungry the rest of your trip. But at least the bear hasn't become accustomed to the taste of human food. So in reality, there is no perfect solution. Bear canisters are the most likely to keep your food safe. They're the least time consuming, but they're also heavy and bulky. Ursack is the best compromise between time and safety, and honestly probably better at protecting your food than a poorly hung bear bag. But they aren't approved in all areas and certainly aren't bear proof. I would only use Ursack in an area that the bears have not grown accustomed to humans and the chances of a bear finding you are slim. The traditional bear hang is going to be the lightest and cheapest, but the most time consuming and requiring the most skill. As for me, I think I'm giving up on bear hangs to free up more time at camp. But what about you? What method will you choose? No matter what method you choose, Garage Grown Gear has all the gear you need to keep your food safe. They sell Ultra Glide Bear Line that slides easily over branches, much easier than paracord. They have food bags to keep your food in. They have multiple Ursacks, including the one that I'm using, as well as sacks that are critter resistant. And they even have hard-sided bear canisters like the Bear Vault 450 that you've seen me use on this channel many times before, not to mention all the other backpacking ultralight gear that you're looking for. Go check them out through the links in the description. Please like, subscribe, and do all those other things. And as always, thanks for watching. Oh, it's so frustrating.